Hi, Katerina. In this video, I would like to suggest you to talk about a very important topic. I was inspired to this video by one of the comments left below one of our videos, and I want to talk about dating services and what to do if you have paid for a dating service, but you didn't get the result you have expected. I will read you a comment of a gentleman. Why they have chosen this comment? I know that this gentleman watches our channel for years now, and we read all your comments. And thank you so much for providing feedback. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, agreeing and disagreeing with us, and sharing your stories. This gentleman, he is not our client, so he obviously has used another dating service, and probably because he watches our channel, he has decided to share his experience in the comments below one of our videos. So he writes, I paid for contact information on a lady I had a video chat with from a reputable Ukrainian matchmaking agency, a member of Ukrainian Matchmaking Alliance. Lady talked to me for 8 months, couldn't commit to get on a real date with me in person. Despite this, she asked for a birthday gift worth $200, a mere 2 weeks before she ended communication with me. The matchmaker said the lady did nothing wrong, and I was a very sad man for thinking all women are out to use me. Well, I didn't make this statement, all women were out to use me, but I suddenly felt in the particular situation. I was breadcrumbed by the lady and gaslit by the matchmaker. This left a sour taste in my mouth to Ukrainian dating, and this was supposed to be one of the most reputable agencies out there. I will tell you what I have answered to him right below one of our videos, and then I suggest we talk about it. So my answer. I have no idea what the Ukrainian Matchmaking Alliance is, and this is really so. We had never had any relations to this company or organization. You should call or email them and describe the situation. Also, investing 8 months into an online romance without an actual meeting is a stupid idea. Do video dates if you can't meet within the next couple of weeks. You can do it on Zoom or WhatsApp. Stop wasting your time on long, meaningless online chats with strangers, and don't buy gifts for virtual strangers. When talking about international dating, the whole endeavor is pointless if you can't physically meet the lady offline within the next 2 months. So, Katerina, I would like to hear your opinion about this whole situation. What can we advise this gentleman? What can we advise to our subscriber who I know has been watching our channel for years already?
First of all, I want to say that I have several thoughts regarding this comment and regarding this gentleman's situation. Of course, I want to point it out that you can't make the conclusions about all Ukrainian dating agencies just on the example of this one that you had bad experience with. So it will be unfair to say that all the agencies are the same, because I faced with this situation and they all work similar and so on. So it's impossible to, it will be unfair, not impossible to say it, because if you have tried not delicious dish in some restaurant, you can't say that all the restaurants in the city are bad, or this cuisine in general is bad. And I'm sure you also understand that. Also, it's important to know which standards give this man a feeling that this agency was reliable. It's very important.
Reputable, Katerina. So it's reputable.
Yes. The problem of many people is that they lie to themselves. It's a huge problem of people in general, and especially if we are talking about building a relationship. Unfortunately, very often people want to believe in their own reality, in their own fantasy that they create in their imagination, and because of that, they make a lot of mistakes. So what made you think that you can trust this agency? If you have decided to hire some specialists to help you in some questions, so we are not only talking about dating, but in general, and especially such important part of your life, like meeting of another person, you have to build your own strategy in your mind, in everything that you do, in steps that you use. You have to have your strategy and standards. So why, which reasons or which standards make me think that this agency is reliable, is reputable, that I can trust them? So what made me think like that? Just because they are the member of some alliance that is created somewhere and exists somewhere. What do you know about this alliance? Because you know it's a beautiful name, matchmaking alliance. I don't know, stylish alliance or some other
Alliance.
alliance. I'm sorry, alliance. So you can. It's a beautiful sound. It's beautiful words. But what do you have behind this? So what made you think that you can trust this alliance or this company that is a part of this? So if they are the part of this alliance, it doesn't mean that you can trust them or you can trust alliance in general. Also, if you don't like the service that they provide, you should openly talk about it. So, frankly speaking, from time to time, in any sphere, you can face with clients that don't like your service. But if his opinion is based on the exact facts, like here we are talking about the communication that lasted for 8 months without offline meeting. Of course, the first thing that comes into your mind is that he was wasting his time. Because if you are communicating with someone for 8 months only online, you don't have good quality online dates. You don't meet with each other in real life. You don't have any offline communication. Then you, from this moment, you already start to think if everything that is going on now is something that I really look for and something that I really like. So usually you subconsciously receive signals from yourself that something is going wrong, and you have to listen to yourself. Why didn't you ask it beforehand? So why we can't meet? What is the reason that I can't see you? You have to make this, these steps to make your communication real, because online communication, it can't last for 8 months. And even if your agency that you have hired, if they are real professionals, they should be the first people who will tell you that you should go offline. So this is kind of recommendation you should receive from them. That you communicate for a long time, you already know each other. It's time to meet in real life. Let's do the steps to meet in real life for you and for the lady. If they don't motivate you to do it, if they don't give you such recommendations, it means that it's already something is going wrong. Also, if the lady, she asked you about the gift, and we are not even talking about the price of the gift, you hire the team of specialists to get their recommendations. If you feel that you feel awkward, you feel that something is going strange, that she's asking you to give her exact amount of money, you can ask your matchmaker. If you have hired a matchmaking agency, you can ask them, if I understand this lady correctly, what is your opinion? Do I really buy for this present? Should I fulfill her request? So you can talk with your matchmaker. It is a wrong strategy to do the step and then to blame someone that you did it. So if you have hired a team of specialists, you can discuss it with them. And also you have to be honest with yourself. if you don't meet in real life, if these matchmakers, they don't give you correct recommendations, that you still don't know this lady, then exactly something is going wrong. It's a wrong scenario. So it doesn't have to be like that in real life. If you have met.
But we don't know what was promised. You know what? When I was reading reading that comment, and now listening to you, I'm thinking that okay, we hear the story of the gentleman, and by no means I want to say that I don't trust him. No, but we don't know what was promised, and I don't know how that agency works because sometimes people write in the comments below, or we receive emails where people tell us that, oh, I prefer the work of that company because they open their database and I can just put my finger on any profile and then I pay for the contact details of the lady, like $50 or 200 euros. So in comparison to a matchmaking package, it's a small sum of money. So I pay for her contacts. We don't know, maybe this was the case. And maybe he didn't hire a team of professionals. Again, we don't know the whole story. Who knows? Perhaps she has just paid for her contact number, her phone number, her contact details, and that was it. So pretty much the agency sold him her contacts, and they have never promised to get any feedback or anything. So they have promised that, for example, these ladies, they know their names, they have checked their age, they have checked that they are single, or for example, not single, not married officially, and you can buy their contacts. So we don't know what was promised. We don't know what is the service that they provide. Of course, like you have mentioned, I agree with you. If it was a matchmaking service, then my first question is, why like just one introduction within this 8 months? If you see that there is no real meeting, that people do not plan the meeting, the lady doesn't want to meet the gentleman for whatever reason, she doesn't like him enough to meet in person, she has met someone better. So there is a reason. If I was thinking that if something like that happened to our client, for example, we introduced him to a lady, and for whatever reason she doesn't want to meet in person, maybe she doesn't like him, like, you know what, it happens, it's life. For example, they talked on video and she didn't like him physically attractive, like she saw that, hey, whereas he looked older, like on video than on his pictures, or whatever, she didn't feel butterflies. We would be the first one to tell the gentleman that, okay, we have to move on. So if she doesn't want to meet you, well, she had a chance to get to know you better. Let's move to the next match. So my biggest concern with this story is that there was just one introduction, and for 8 months, the lady didn't want to meet him in person. And why on earth we're talking for 8 months to someone who doesn't want to meet you? And so we don't know if the service was matchmaking actually. Like you have mentioned, the fact that it is called the Matchmaking Alliance doesn't mean that they have like the decent matchmaking process. Maybe it's a dating company that has the open database, and just like on Tinder, you can put your finger on any profile and then you have to pay like a small fee for contact details, for example, for a video call or for a chance to text. So we don't know what was promised.
Yeah, yes, I agree with you. It's I assumed that it was a matchmaking service, so maybe the type of their work really was different. And then for sure, it's not fair to say that all Ukrainian agencies are the same. If you have tried one with the exact type of work that they provide, the exact type of service that they provide to their clients, it doesn't mean that all the agencies, all the companies work with this model. So, of course, you should try something else. And really agree with you that communication for 8 months with only one person, it really looks strange. So why he didn't continue his introductions? Of course, we don't know Yes, all the conditions. And of course, when you communicate with a person online, you're not in a relationship yet. So it's important to understand for people, especially who want to try international dating, who communicate online before they meet offline for some period of time, that you are not in relationship yet. So your communication with several people doesn't make you a cheater. So it doesn't mean that if you communicate with one person, you should stop your search and concentrate only on her. So it doesn't work like that. You can communicate with the person. If it doesn't work for some reason, or you see that she always finds the reasons or excuses why she can't meet you, for example, in 1 month, in 2 months, and you see that it repeats, you really should move on. Don't concentrate on one person. Don't be fixed on one person for too long, because you are in the situation when only you will lose from this. So this guy, he invested a lot of time. Yeah, he invested money too, but the amounts are not so big that we
You
can.
don't know what he has paid. So I assume, I don't know why, I have this feeling that because it was just one introduction, probably he has just paid for her contact details, because this is not matchmaking. When you have the open gallery of photos and you choose a lady and you pay for her contact details, this is not the matchmaking process, and you are not buying a matchmaking service, even if they label it as matchmaking. It's not a matchmaking process, and this lady was not pre-selected individually for you after rounds of interviews, and probably has paid just for this acquaintance, because it is really hard for me to imagine a matchmaker who would see that her client, paying male client, is talking to just one introduction for 8 months without a personal face-to-face meeting. So it just doesn't make sense to me. So this is why I assume that he has just paid for your contact details, and pretty much he bought like a phone number.
Yes, it can be this scenario that he just paid for her contacts and continued communication with her. But again, we come back to the fact that you have to be honest with yourself. Usually, you understand everything correctly if you're honest with yourself. So ask yourself strict questions that should I communicate with this person further? When will be our meeting? What does she invest into our communication? What do I know about her? So ask these questions to yourself, and you will understand that if you can't answer most of your questions, then something is going wrong. So you should decide for yourself if you continue this communication or you move further. And of course, it's an easy strategy to blame everyone around when you are not successful in something, but it will not give you anything if you just blame
Usually people blame Tinder because they can't get the dates, and the problem is that they have a really bad dating profile, or they are really bad at communication, or they keep choosing wrong ladies. Like in this case, I would say that lesson number one, you have to be very careful when you choose the exact service, and you have to read carefully what type of service do they provide, because regardless if they, it's like, right now it's very common to label, for example, some food and products with this green label, and we assume that if it is labeled, like if everything is like the packaging is in green, then it is like ecologically friendly, eco-friendly, or for example, that it is natural. No, it's just the green color, and you have to actually read what is inside that bottle that you're buying. And in this case, you have to be like careful what type of service you choose. If it costs like $200 or $50, you are buying a phone number, and I don't understand the service, because you can do the same thing on Tinder and for free. You can put your finger on any profile, and like in marketing, the strategy is called spray and pray. When you pretty much send lots of hi, 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 hellos, and somebody will answer back to you, hopefully. So in this case, you have paid for her contact details. In best case scenario, if this is the way I think, or like if this service is the way I think it is, then the best case scenarios, they have showed this lady his picture and have shared basic information about him with the lady before providing a gentleman with her phone number. I know that in many cases it's not done, so pretty much you buy a phone number and then you are on your own. Same like on Tinder. You text and you help to catch her interest. The fact that she has been talking to you for 8 months without a personal meeting means that she was not interested in you, because when you are interested in someone, you want to meet in person. You want to test this theory if we are compatible, if we will like each other once we actually see each other face to face. Like 8 months is ridiculously long. So I would say that if anything lasts longer than 2 months, okay, I understand that not everybody, if we're talking about international dating, everybody can jump the plane and meet over the next weekend. But within the next 2 months, you can plan something. You can plan a weekend together. You can plan coffee, lunch, dinner. Again, if we are talking about international dating, of course, coffee doesn't make much sense, but you can plan the weekend together, one day together. And the fact that she was not insistent on meeting you means that she is not interested, and she was keeping you as plan C, plan D, and something like that. And probably you were just more persistent after you have given her that gift. You were more persistent to meet, and this is why she has decided to lose you, because she was not really interested to start with. So rule number one, check what type of service you are buying. Because even if they have labeled it matchmaking or whatever, like best brides or whatever, what is the process like? If you have paid for her phone number, this is what you bought, her phone number. And in this case, that company or agency, they have fulfilled their obligations. Look at the contract that you have signed with them, if you have signed anything. And if she doesn't want to meet you in person, she is not interested. When people want to seriously date someone, seriously find a relationship, they want to date someone, of course, they want to meet real people in person. You can't build a relationship purely online.
Yes, I would say that the next recommendation that I would give that don't be afraid to build your own strategy. So if you have decided for yourself that you are ready to change your life, to meet someone special, you have to build an honest conversation, an honest dialogue with yourself, and ask and answer the most important questions. And you have to understand your own standards that you have regarding the service that you want to hire, the person whom you want to meet. Standards, of course, not in a very strict way that
Katerina, you have to be very careful with it, because when you tell that you should build your own standards, people will tell you that I want her to be 15 years younger, have blue eyes, blonde hair, and speak 5 languages, including Mandarin. So you have to build realistic expectations. And again, sometimes people reach out to us and they say that I want to hire a matchmaker, but I want you to open your gallery and I will put my finger and then I will pay you for the contact details of the lady. I'm building my own strategy. And of course, we say no, because this is not how matchmaking works. And this is not beneficial, first of all, for a client. You can do it for free on Tinder.
We come again to unhealthy approaches. So of course you have to be smart, and you should build a healthy approach in everything that you do. When we are talking about standards or strategy, it doesn't mean that you have to be so strict, and you should keep flexibility. So you have to be flexible and realistic. Realistic is something, is the quality that you should have in everything, especially if you are talking about building a relationship, about meeting someone else. So you should be realistic. So when you build your dating strategy about hiring a company, about building a relationship, stay realistic. It's very important to understand that. It doesn't mean that if you have your own standards, it doesn't mean that she should have blue eyes, light hair, and she should be 20 years younger than you are. No, we
No,
are not.
having standards mean meeting real people who have interest in you. Like if I have standards, I'm not going to waste my time on someone who is not interested in me.
Yes, it's a very good example that it doesn't require my standards when I have the situation when I communicate with a person for 8 months online and we don't meet in person and we don't even do steps, any steps to meet in person. So it should be against your healthy standards. You have to build this strategy that will work for you, not against you. It's very important. When you decide to hire a company, you, like you said absolutely correctly, you should understand what kind of service you will get, what kind of service they provide. If they really sell you phone numbers, then it's something you will get in the end. So they will not build relationship instead of you. They will not conduct the personal search for you based on your criteria because they just didn't promise you to provide the service in the beginning. So when you hire a company, you should understand what kind of services you are buying. It's very important. Also, then when you start to communicate with people, you also should build strategy for yourself that I communicate with the person, I'm interested, I see her interest, we should meet in 2 or in 3 months, and we should discuss the exact time frames when we meet and the exact date. So
3 months is way too long, Katerina. Again, why 3 months? If, for example, for whatever reason you can't meet, you believe that you can't fly, let's say your match is in Prague and you're in the United States, and you know that for the next 6 months you can't travel, then why on earth would you invest time, effort, and money if, for example, you buy her contacts? You don't know how much it costed, or if it was like the contacts they sold him. Why on earth am I even jumping into it if I know that I can't travel within the next 6 months? So when you choose international dating, you have to understand that it has its specifics. Can I actually afford international dating? Can I travel to Prague to meet the lady? Okay, let's say that the interest is mutual. Like I have bought her contact details. We have talked for like 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, this connection that you have built, it will start slowly like fading away if you don't push it to the next level, like talking about the real meeting. Okay, when you talk about real meeting, you have, like you have mentioned, Katerina, make real steps, actual steps, like take actual steps, like choose the date when you will meet. Make a plan, like you will fly, she will, for example, drive to meet you there. Book the plane tickets or train tickets, or like book the hotel. Then you make this meeting real, and then your communication can last a month, like 2 months. It will be way too long. Most likely, you both will lose interest simply because like you haven't met in person yet, and to talk to a stranger because you're still strangers online for 3 months, well, you will over romanticize this whole experience, and the real meeting won't reach your expectations, not because the person is a bad match, but because your expectations are totally unrealistic. It's like a fantasy land, a la la land. So if you see that I can't travel, I can't afford it, and here we talk not only about money, I can't have the vacation time, I can't take the trip to Europe, then why am I doing it? You have to think about your own schedule, about your own plans. Okay, maybe the matchmaker can introduce me to someone who can fly to meet me. Was it promised when I have signed, for example, the contract? What did I pay for? So I think it is really important when you choose a dating service or matchmaking service to actually read through the contract, to ask all the questions, to make sure you understand what you are buying.
in general, if and when we start talking about the contracts, it's something that we want to pay attention to, that if you hire some company, if you buy the service, of course, it's a very good sign when in general you have this contract, because I'm not sure if even all companies they sign in any contract with you. So it's something that you
I
should.
like to believe that people at least sign contracts. And again, the contract is not only for the client, it's also for the matchmaker. Because Katerina, within the last 16 years, we have been in situations when, for example, we have signed a contract with a client for 6 introductions, for example. And we have provided a gentleman with 6 introductions. And he liked the process of being picky, of meeting different ladies. And then he tells you that, okay, you have to continue introducing me because as you can see, I haven't chosen one lady. No, because we have signed with you a contract for 6 introductions that we will introduce you to 6 people who will match all your criteria. You have met these ladies. It's not our fault that you have decided that, okay, those ladies, even though they showed interest, they were not enough because you have decided out of a sudden that you want to date younger or you want her to have only blue eyes. This is not what we have agreed with you. So a real matchmaker will never work without a contract because you have to put our agreement, what we have discussed, on paper. What are our obligations and responsibilities and our rights, and what are the obligations, responsibilities, and rights of the client? Because for a successful matchmaking process, a client also has to be responsible. Because, Katerina, you have seen it. Then, for example, we introduce a gentleman to a lady and he can't find the time to actually call her after the date. He disappears after the date for weeks. And then what he will do? Blame us that oh, Yelena has lost interest. Probably because you have ghosted her, like after the date, you have disappeared for 3 weeks. We couldn't reach you. So she has moved on. So in this case, like I hope that people sign contracts when they buy matchmaking services. But again, if you are talking about selling phone numbers, maybe they sign something, but there has to be like at least the list of rules and what will be included into what you are paying for.
Contracts are always important for both parties, that's for sure. It's important to read them. It's important to understand the rules, the conditions, because a contract in general is something that your communication is based on. So you can communicate as friends, as partners, it's your choice. But all real relationship that you have with the company whom you have hired should be put into the contract. That's for sure. So, and it's important to read them, not just to sign them, but also to read and to understand what kind of service you buy and what kind of services you get in the end. So yes, of course, we faced with these situations before when we sign in the contract for 6 dates and then the client claims that we should organize more dates. And of course, if we have a contract, we can discuss it more officially, unfortunately, but we sometimes from time to time we have to go officially when we communicate with clients, and it's fine. It's
not to court, Katerina, because we will scare some people off. No, but it's important to write it down, to know what to expect, because like in this example, when we have provided the gentleman with 6 introductions, if you like our service, you can hire us for another round of dates. And our clients know that we like providing extra dates. If we see that it is necessary, it is also mentioned in our contract. But we are not there to introduce you till the end you die, just because you have hired us for a specific term.
Yes, I totally agree with you that, of course, there are some rules in the agreement, in the contract, that should be done from our side, from our client's side, and it's important to understand them and to keep those rules. So we come back to the situation when you choose a company whom you want to work with. Here, when we are talking about the contracts, the official part, it's good to have standards. It's good to understand what you want to get. Here again, you have to be honest with yourself. So if you want to buy the service that costs $100 to $200, really you will buy maybe phone numbers or emails or something like that, because the quality service that provide for you professional search based on numerous interviews with potential matches, it can't cost like that. So you have to be honest with yourself.
There is no matchmaking for $200.
So, and you have to understand that and be honest with yourself again. So what kind of service you want to get. Don't lie to yourself that, oh, I'm so lucky guy, I have found a matchmaking service for $200. It doesn't work like that. So probably you really buy phone numbers or contacts or something like that, or maybe an access to open those base of profiles, to scroll them, to watch numerous photos. But you can do it in some free app. You don't have to pay even money for that. So be honest with yourself what you are buying and what you're looking for, and it also should be a part of your dating strategy. So when you decide whom you want to hire, or what amount of money you are ready to invest into it, what amount of time and effort you are ready to invest into it, it's very important to understand that and to base your strategy on that. So if, like you said correctly, we also faced with the situations when a gentleman started the matchmaking process with us. He has met wonderful ladies that really he had chances to build a communication with them, good quality communication, and to see how it goes further. Maybe it could bring relationship into his life. But after the first date, after two, for example, video dates, he just disappears because he has a new project at work. He's traveling to his country to meet with his parents and so on. So he invested some time in the beginning, but on the first stages and in general a relationship, they requires from you some time investments. You should understand that it's not a secret, but especially on the first stages, when you show each other your interest, when you are building this first communication, when you try to get to know each other better, and then you just disappear right of a sudden. So of course, for a lady, she doesn't understand what is happening. Can you tell that the service that was provided to this guy was of a bad quality? Of course not. So is the lady, she's guilty?
And then with the next introduction, he acts exactly the same way. He disappears.
Yes.
Like he's interested, he talks to her, he goes out on a date with her, and then something comes up, and he disappears for 4 weeks.
So it's important to understand why now is the right moment to build a communication or to meet someone in your life, and are you ready to invest time and effort into it? Because even if you hire a team of the best professionals who have the most serious ladies in their base, they do very good quality search for you. They introduce you to the right ladies. But if there is nothing from your side, if you don't do anything to build this connection, to build this communication, it will not work. So you can't blame everyone around you again if it doesn't work. You should think if you did everything correctly to make it work too. So it's very important.
Katerina, I will share a story with you really quickly. Several months ago, a gentleman, he bought a coaching consultation with me. He met a lady online, a younger lady, Ukrainian lady who lives in Western Europe, and they were communicating for 4 months online. And he wanted my opinion if she was using him. And I have showed him all the red flags that yes, most likely she was using him because they didn't have a personal face-to-face meeting, and he was already buying her gifts because she was demanding them. And guys, stop buying gifts to people you have never met in person. Okay, if you're located in different countries, and for example, you have met on Facebook and you have been talking for a few weeks, and this is her birthday, and you want to surprise her, You can order flowers or candies, like this is it. It will be appropriate because you don't know each other. And yes, it's a nice gesture. You will earn some points by sending her flowers, but you should do it only if you are like, you have intentions to meet. Or for example, you just want to make her smile. You like her, don't know whether you will meet or not. You are not sure yourself, but you want to buy her flowers. But don't buy perfumes, iPhones, iWatches. When I hear such stories, you haven't even met her in person. She is not your girlfriend. So why are you giving her the privileges of a girlfriend? She is not your girlfriend. She is an online stranger. So anyway, that gentleman, I have shared with him all the red flags. I have showed him like based on her actions. Also, he sent me some of their correspondence. He didn't believe me. 3 months after that, he texts me like, Svetlana, you were right. She was using me and I've spent so much money. Now I have met someone else. I have met someone better and she is not like that lady. And I want a consultation with you. Again, get a coach on a coaching consultation. Same red flags, Katerina. Same things. Again, sick grandmother, she can't pay the rent, she can't do this, and you're the Superman and you're my man. You are not her man. You haven't met in person offline. Why on earth is she calling you your man if you have never met offline in real life? Same red flags. In Russian language and in Ukrainian language, there is a saying that a greedy person pays twice. Always pays twice. And in this case, like twice, this gentleman has actually fallen for the same mistake, has thrown away lots of money for strangers, like buying expensive gifts without a personal meeting. I have told him, like after our first consultation, that you can hire a matchmaker and we will conduct all the interviews. We will introduce you to the ladies, like safe ladies whom you can actually date. We know their intentions. We can't guarantee that they will fall in love with you because a lot depends on you and how you will build this communication, how you will invest time into this communication, how she will invest time into this communication. But intentions will be right. She will come with the right intentions. Oh no, it's like it's not real life. I want to meet someone in real life. You've met twice scammers, like same scenarios. Like in this case, I don't think this woman was a scammer to start with. I don't know the whole story. Again, we hear just the story of a gentleman. I believe he bought her contact details and she didn't like him. But she liked having this plan B, like in case she can't meet anyone better. Then she had this plan B, like you stroke her ego, or it's a nice, pleasant feeling that somebody's texting you, writing you, so you get this attention. Maybe she wanted to practice English, I don't know. We will never know. And again, it's up to you to choose how you meet people, like you have mentioned, Katerina, like how you build your strategy. If you see that she's not interested in meeting you, drop this communication. And when you hire help, or for example, you buy help, it's like paying $9.95 for Tinder, like for this premium account in different countries. The fee is different. And then to tell that, oh, I have paid Tinder for the premium account and I haven't met my soulmate. You pay for this verification logo and you pay for possibility to check more profiles and to see who have access to your profile. This is it. You haven't paid for a soulmate. You haven't paid for like unconditional love of a beautiful blonde with blue eyes or a tall, dark, handsome man. No, you paid for exact features. Same here. Read the contract. Read what you're paying for. Because if they're selling just phone numbers and emails, you buy just a phone number and an email. This is it.
And also pay attention to the company that you want to hire. Don't believe all the names that people give to their companies or their or some alliances that they are in. So don't pay attention to it. Pay attention to their standards, to how they represent themselves, to the fact for how long they provide their services, and so on.
What type of services they provide?
what type of services? So
Because, Katerina, we are members of two American alliances, International Matchmaking Alliance in United States and again American Alliance. And what does it give us? It gives an opportunity to meet with our colleagues once, twice per year, and to communicate in closed matchmaking chats, to see what's going on in the industry. This is it. So the fact that we are members of the alliance, it means that we go to conferences, meet other matchmakers, but it doesn't influence our matchmaking process, nor does it influence matchmaking processes of other companies. We work with different type of clients, and I don't understand why for you it's for this gentleman it's such a big deal that this company is a member of an alliance.
Maybe for him it was the reason to trust them, but the real reason to trust a company is the information that you learn about them, and that feeling that you get after communicating with them, after reading their contract, after understanding their process of work. That is something that your decision should be based on, not just on the fact that they are the member of some alliance. So it's important to make it a part of your strategy if you decide to meet someone, and of course not to blame all the sphere or where this company exists. So if this company didn't provide you the service you hoped for, it doesn't mean that all the sphere, that all Ukrainian companies are bad. Of course, it doesn't work like that, and you should understand that. And be honest with yourself, what kind of service you bought. So if you bought just a phone number, the contacts of that lady, then that is something that you got. It was your decision to buy her that present that she asked for. It was really your decision. So don't blame anyone around that you did it. You always could say no, that because this lady is not your girlfriend, you don't know her, you could say no. It's fine to say no to people. It's as well.
Katerina, this video is almost 1 hour long. We hope that our dear subscriber is not too upset with this whole situation with that lady. Look at it this way: you bought experience. Now you know that it doesn't make much sense to talk to someone for 8 months, and now you know that sending gifts when you have never met in person, like again, it's up to you, like you have mentioned. You can always say no. And gifts at this stage when you are strangers, like flowers, it is appropriate. It's a nice romantic gesture. But again, when you send flowers, you have to understand that it is not a guarantee that she will fall madly in love with you, especially at the early stage. We hope that you won't give up. We hope that you will continue dating, and that now you are wiser and smarter, and your dating strategy will change accordingly. We want to wish everybody lots of love. And of course, we want to hear your stories below this video, because they can be educational for other people. They can inspire other people in a similar situation to look at the situation in a different way and probably to get different results. We want to wish everybody lots of love. Now is the time to press like to this video, to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet. And of course, you can always book a complimentary consultation with our matchmakers to find out if international dating and our matchmaking process is something you should consider. My name is Svetlana Mucha. I'm the founder and the leading matchmaker and dating coach at Diolli.com. And today, together with me, we had our executive director / matchmaker, Katerina Romanenko. And we will see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.